Hi, this is Ryotaro from Looprider, and today I'm going to talk about my guitar and my pedalboard. So first, this is my guitar. It's a Squier Baritone Jazzmaster. It's 30 inches scale length. We drop tune in Looprider. This is tuned right now to G. We also sometimes tune to drop F on the low string. A lot of our songs are also in C. So Haruka's guitar is tuned to C standard a lot. And then this guitar has P90 pickups, so they cut through really well, even though we're down tuned. So onto my pedal board. So the signal chain is first my guitar goes into this free the tone junction box, and then this goes to this volume and wall pedal I have. So this can switch between volume and wall. And then this then goes into this Musicom EFX LE2 switcher. This switcher is super important for me because it lets me switch between the guitar and the bass amp. So I use both amps to create a sound because our band, we don't have a bass player. So this switcher allows me to program my effects and change the order of them. And I can send some effects to the guitar amp, and I can send some to the bass amp. So I can show you an example. Alright, so onto the loops. So in loop 1 we have this EHX bass 9, and this one controls sonic silver peg. So this is my first loop. I use it to simulate a bass guitar. So the bass 9 drops my guitar sound an octave down. So to show you an example. So on to loop 2. So here we have the Deep Box by Bootleg. So this is kind of a bass booster pedal. So I use this when I'm running my guitar signal into the bass amp. So it just really boosts the low frequencies. Takeshi from Boris also uses the same pedal. So I got a inspiration from him. I tried a bunch of other pedals that do similar things, but it just didn't sound the same. This definitely has a lot of low end that the other pedals didn't have. So if it works for Boris, it works for us. So next up is my distortion sound. So I have an Earthquaker Devices Plumes here, and an Earthquaker Devices Live pedal. So I use these together a lot for my main distortion sound. So essentially the Plumes is a tube screamer, and the Live pedal is a rat pedal inspired by the band Sun. So the combination of these two I really enjoy. The Plumes really kind of makes the rat Live pedal sound super tight. So yeah, the combination, this is kind of my go-to sound. And the Live pedal is also super useful because it has this kind of boost button on it. So I use that whenever we need to just kind of have more volume in our set. Okay, so the next loop is we have an Earthquaker Devices Avalanche run and a Walrus Audio SLO. So these are my two kind of ambient effects. So we have delay and reverb. So I use these together a lot for kind of creating shoegaze type sounds, and then also I like to use them when combined with my clean sound to create some atmosphere. And sometimes I use them separately as well. So I have a relay switch kind of system underneath. So my switcher allows me to switch between the two loops. So yeah, I could use both of these together or separately if I want to. Final loop we have here is the Earthquaker Devices Aqueduct and the Earthquaker Devices Rainbow Machine. So I use these kind of before my distortion sounds, mainly to create kind of like a shoegazy type effect. So the Aqueduct I have at the very beginning of my chain, and it kind of does like a fake My Bloody Valentine tremolo type of effect. And then I use the Rainbow Machine to kind of add a little bit of short delay to that, just to kind of fill up the space. So when combined with all these other pedals and the delays and the bass amp, it sounds really, really huge. So yeah, I can play a little bit of that for you. We go out of the switcher to these two pedals, so the guitar signal goes into this Electro-Harmonix 360 pedal, which is a looper pedal that I preload with a couple samples that we use in our set. And then the bass side goes into this Electro-Harmonix freeze pedal, so I use this to kind of sustain a note in between songs if we need to switch tunings and stuff like that, just to kind of fill out the space. And then yeah, it goes all the way back to this box, and then out to my 2 amps. Yeah, so that's my pedal board.